Hi, welcome to the video Thymeleaf for each iteration with me, Nam Haming from CodeJava.net. Through this video, I will help you understand the syntax of Thymeleaf iteration tag th:(h) and how to use iteration in a real Spring Boot project and how to use iteration status. Suppose that we have an existing Java project using the following technologies: Spring Boot, Spring Data API, and Hibernate framework for the data access layer, and Thymeleaf for the view layer. And I'm using the following software programs on my computer: Java Development Kit JDK, Spring Tool Suite IDE SDS, and MySQL database. I have an existing Java project using Spring Boot here, as you can see. Short me backhand, and let me start this Spring Boot application in Spring Tool Suite IDE. And as you can see, this application is running with embedded Tomcat server recently on board AT&T, and the context path is submit admin. Okay, the application is up and running, and now I access this Spring Boot application. HTTP localhost phone number AT&T and the context path submit admin. You see, and I will show you how to update the code to use Thymeleaf iteration tag th to display all the users in this user list here, and also to display the best number here, best number in the pagination section here. And I will also show you how to use Thymeleaf iteration tag to display checkboxes for the row names here. Checkboxes go here, and also for create a new brand here. I will show you how to use Thymeleaf iteration tag to display a list of categories here in the drop-down list. I made this picture to help you understand how to use Thymeleaf iteration tag in the Spring MVC controller class. As you can see here, we store a list collection, list users in the model here. See, model add attribute. The attribute name is list users, and the object is a list collection that contains a list of user objects, and this is the entity class user that represents user. And in the Thymeleaf view, we want to display the details of each user in a table row, so we use the tr tag in HTML and with the attribute Thymeleaf th:(h), and here we specify a iteration variable or users colon, and then the name of the list collection that is sent from the model list users here, and this is called iterated variable here, list users. And then inside the tr tag we can use the iteration variable users here, user.id, user.email, user.fullname, user.rows, to display the details of user in table data cell. And these properties must match the name of the corresponding properties in the entity class user, id, email, fullname, and rows here. So that's pretty simple to use iteration tag th:(h) in Thymeleaf for a Spring Boot project. Now let's update the project code to display a list of the user details here in this table. come back to our project, and this is a Spring Controller class for the user management module here, user controller class here, and we have a handler method that stores a list of users in the model here. You see in this handler method, list by page, because I'm using pagination, and this is a statement that stores a list of users, here to the model, and this handler method returns the view name users here. So we open the view file users.html here. Here you see, and we have the header for the table here with the columns user ID, email, full name, browse, and enable. And in the table body, we will use Thymeleaf iteration tag thh to iterate to the list of user objects here. Okay, we want to display the details of each user in a table row, so we use a table row tag tr here, and we use Thymeleaf syntax th:h, and then the iteration variable is user : and then the name of the iterated variable, which is a list collection of user object, list users here. And in this table row, we create table data, table cell, td tag, and the first table cell is for displaying the user ID. You see user ID here. So to display the value of the ID of the current user, we use th:\text to display the text for this table cell, and user.id. ID is a property name of the entity class user. Let me show you the entity class user here, and we have the field names ID, email, full name, email, ID, enable, and a collection of rows here. Okay, and inside the td tag we just type the static text user ID. Okay, save this file and refresh the browser, and you can see the IDs of the users got displayed in this table: 1, 4, 5, 9, 10. Because I'm using pagination, so it displays for the first page. And let's check in the database here. I have database in my SQL workbench here, the table users here, select rows. Here you see I have some rows for the users in the users table here, ID 1, 4, 5, 9, and so on. And now let's update the code to display the value for email, full name, browse, and enable. So you can see using Thymeleaf iteration tags thh, very simple and convenient. And the next table cell is for the email of the user. So we use this syntax th:\text equal, and then user.email, and we do the same for the column full name. Full name here, full name, full name. Let's see the full name in the entity class. Full name here. Full name. And then rows and enabled. So we copy paste and specify the full name user dot rows. Static text rows. And the last column is for the enabled property. Enabled. Okay, and refresh, and you can see the list of users is now displaying all the details about user ID, email, full name, rows, and enabled. So that's basically how to use Thymeleaf iteration tag GH. You can see it's very simple. And note that the iterated object can be any object that implements java.ut.iterable interface here, such as list, set, and queue, or it can be a java.ut.map, or can be an array or a single value list object. And we can also specify iteration status in the GH tag besides the iterable variable here. You see, we use after the iterable variable, we use the iteration status variable, iter stat here, and then we use the count property on this status variable. So here are some possible values for status variables here: index, count, size, current, even, odd, first, and last. Index is the index of the current element starting from 0, count starting from 1, size is the total elements in the collection, current is a current element, even is the boolean value indicating that the current element is even or odd. So last four properties: even, odd, first, and last boolean value. First indicating the current element is the first element or not. Last indicating the current element is the last element or not. And now let's update our project code to use iteration status variable. Here in this for each loop, comma, and then the name of the iteration status variable. For example, I name it as iter stat, and in this table I want to add the first column for the numbering of the elements. GH no. Okay, and in the first table data cell, no, yeah, I use GH text equal, and we can use the iteration status variable as normal like the iteration variable, iter stat and dot index. Index is the index number starting from 0. Save the change and refresh, and you can see the first column of the table here, no, and you can see the index starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we change to count, we start the number from 1. Well, refresh and you see count start the number from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can use this boolean value for conditional formatting the table. For example, for the text of the even or odd row, we display different color here. For example, here we use th if it start for example even equal to. No, we can use the th class to specify CSS attribute based on a condition. Condition is a Boolean property even of the iteration status variable. Like this. It is true. We use bootstrap CSS property, for example, text primary. Else we use color for the text and success, for example. Okay. Save and let's refresh. And you can see the color for the text in the no column changes based on the status, whether the row is even or odd. If the row is odd, it shows green color. Sorry, if the row is odd, it shows green color. Else, it shows blue color here. You can apply this for the entire row of the table here. So you can see Thymeleaf is very flexible. Refresh. You can see the entire rows in the table is are now color. So that's how to use iteration status variable. And next I will show you how to use Thymeleaf iteration tag th to display the page numbers in the pagination section here. Page numbers go here. So in the view, we have the section for the pagination here. You can see page number go here. And in the controller class, you can see we store the total basis in a variable name total basis here, indicating the total number of items. So in this section pagination, we can use a Thymeleaf iteration tag gh colon h for the li element, this item element here, gh h. And this time we use a sequence of numbers. We name the iteration variable is I in numbers. This is a syntax of Thymeleaf to create a sequence of number dot sequence. The sequence from 1 to the total basis. You see, total basis is the name of a variable stored in the model here, total basis. So this create a sequence number starting from 1 to total basis, and for each number we display the base number in a hybrid I here, I number I here. That's it, and refresh. And you can see the numbers are displayed 1, 2, 3, 4 here for basis. Next, second page, next, third page, next, fourth page, first page, And, let's get the style, CSS style with bootstrap pagination to make it looks better. So I specify the gh class attribute here to conditionally formatting this list item based on the value of the current page variable. If current page is not equal to the current number I, then I use this CSS style page dash item. Else, I use this CSS style page item active. And for the hyperlink for the page number, for pagination style, I use the class equal page dash link. That's it. And refresh. And you see the page number looks better, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And next, I will show you how to use Thymeleaf iteration tag GSH for different HTML input. For example, in the create new user form here, we want to display checkboxes for the role names here. You can see for each user we have the role, editor, admin, shell here. And when creating a new user, we want to display the role name in the form of checkboxes here. So we can use Thymeleaf iteration. So let's open the new user form, user underscore form HTML here. And this is a section that we want to display the checkboxes using Thymeleaf iteration tag for the HTML input checkbox. Input type equal checkbox. And we specify the name of this checkbox is rows. And we use the Thymeleaf iteration tag th h, and we iterate for each row in the list of all rows. You can see in the controller class, user controller, in the new user form, we store a list of rows, row objects in attribute name all rows here. Okay. So in this GHH syntax, we use that variable name, and then we display the text for this input. Get text equal row dot name is the name of the row, and then for the value th colon value equal row dot id. And to bind this field to the form, we need to use th field, binding this input element to the form field, to the entity object rows here. That's it. Save and refresh. And you can see as row names display in form of checkbox here. The user can select one or more rows when creating a new user. And we specify the button for the checkboxes using bootstrap m-2. Refresh and you see pretty good, right? So that's the different use case of Thymeleaf iteration tag for HTML input checkbox element. And next I will show you how to use Thymeleaf iteration tag to display a list of items in a drop-down list in the create new brand here. We need to display a list of categories here. So let's open that view file brand underscore from HTML here, and this is a section that we need to display a list of categories in form of a drop-down list. So we use a select HTML input, and we map this input with a field name categories with bootstrap CSS style from control, and to display a list of items we use the option tag here, and then here we can use a th to iterate through each category in the list of categories. As you can see in the controller class, brand controller in the handler method new, we have model attribute name list categories that stores a list of category object here. Category, you see. So for each option we display the value and text th value equal cat.id. In the entity class category, you can see we have the field name id and name here, and then we also specify th text equal cat.name. That's it, and refresh. You can see we have the drop down list of category here. You see, we want the user can select one or more categories, so we specify the attribute notable and some style resize vertical and height about 200 pixels. That's it. Refresh, and you see now we have multiple selection drop down list, and we use the Thymeleaf iteration tag th here to display the items in the drop down list, th and th value and th text. Lastly, I want to show you another way of using Thymeleaf iteration tag. Besides using attribute th inside HTML tag, for example, in the user list inside the tr tag here, we can also use special tag provided by Thymeleaf. That is a th colon block, like this. In case you want to have more, you want to generate more than one table rows, so we put the th inside a th block element like this, you see, and then we can specify one more row. For example, the first row is for the details of the user, and the second row for blank line. So we can use this th block, and let's refresh the user list page, and you can see the rows here. We need to use td so we can see the blank line. Okay, you can see we have blank line after each details here. In case we want to generate more than one table rows, so we can use the gh block with the each attribute of Thymeleaf iteration. So that you have learned the syntax of Thymeleaf iteration tag gh:h and how to use iteration tag in several ways with different HTML input, table rows, checkbox, and drop-down list, and how to use the iteration status. I hope you will find this video tutorial helpful. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.